Nate actually goes through and breaks down a lot of what he's been hearing when it comes to rumors surrounding this indictment against Letitia James. And there's 3 properties that he discusses in this video. There's one property that was recently purchased in the last 2 years. That's not a part of the indictment. There's another property that she previously purchased, and that's not a part of the indictment as well. He talks about that in the video. What we're going to focus on here is the section where Nate talks about the property in question in this indictment and how that's going to affect Letitia James from a legal aspect and what she's looking at facing, because it ain't looking great. All right, y'all check this out, and I'll leave the link in the video to this full video in the description for you.
Let's move to the third property concerning Letitia James, which is another property in Norfolk, Virginia, the subject of the current indictment. Now, this loan originated in the year 2020. Now, on the loan application, Letitia James claimed that this property was a secondary residence. She also signed a second home rider promising to occupy the unit and not rent it. That's what the indictment alleges. Here, on paragraph 6, under a signed second home rider, which required James as the sole borrower to occupy and use the property as her secondary residence and prohibited its use as a timeshare or other shared ownership arrangement or agreement that requires her either to rent the property or give any other person any control over the occupancy or use of the property. So by signing that second home rider, she couldn't rent the property. And more importantly, she said she was going to occupy the residence. Now, because Miss James said that she was going to use this property as a second residency, that allowed her to get more favorable loan rates. Now, paragraph 8 lays out the benefit that James got for listing the property as a secondary residence and not a rental property. And that benefit came out to about $18,000. The indictment also says that the universal property application for the homeowner's insurance indicated, quote, owner-occupied non-seasonal use, further misrepresenting the intended use of the property. Now, to make it even more clear that even though James had listed this property as a secondary residence that she was going to occupy, she actually filed a tax return claiming that she never occupied the property. In paragraph 10 of the indictment, it says here that she reported 0 personal days use. She also received $1,000 in rental income and claimed deductions for expenses related to the property. And she received this loan in March of 2021. Now, Tish James defenders are pointing to this email in which Tish James, in section 5, which is declarations, it says, quote, will you occupy the property as your primary residence? And she puts no. But this email is dated 2023. And this is in reference to the Sterling property we talked about earlier, where she took the loan out in 2023. This is not about the loan in the indictment, which is from.
So she didn't lie on the second one because there's nothing showing that she said on the property in question that she wasn't going to use it as her primary residence. She actually said she was going to.